You know, as much of a joke as they are nowadays, back on the Super Nintendo, a licensed game was usually a really good time. Games like Goof Troop, Aladdin, and The Lion King are still held in high regard today. And of course, the Disney games are some of the finest examples of some really great games. And coincidentally, all of those were made by Capcom, who, back then at least, made some really amazing games. Now, as a kid, I never had any of these games. I don't know why. I mean, Disney was a huge part of my early life growing up. But my mom did manage to get me some of the more classic titles. Most of the Mario titles, the Donkey Kong Country games, Link to the Past, Clock. But as far as licensed games go, I only got one. And it was based on a movie that I only kinda liked by a company that wasn't Capcom. I was blessed with We're Back, a Dinosaur Story. The movie is bad. I won't go into a full review because that's not what I'm here to talk about, but it's a movie made due to the success of Jurassic Park as well as the Disney movies of the time. So literally, this is a cash-in of a cash-in. But hey, it may not be Capcom, but Visual Concepts has made some pretty amazing titles. Sports titles, that is. Yeah, and the SNES they made such masterpieces as Lester the Unlikely. So the title screen pops up, and you'll notice how terrible the graphics are. This looks like something that should be on the NES, but even then, something like Mario 3 would blow it out of the water. Oh, don't you love the music? So you have the option of playing as 2 players, but let's be honest. If you're playing this game, you don't have any friends. Start up the single player, and you're greeted with a cutscene. What the hell is that? Is Rex squeezing out of a toothpaste tube or something? Oh, gotta love the mouth animations. At least I recognize the fact that this is supposed to be Captain New Eyes. He drops you out of his airship as you notice the World Trade Center behind your rapidly falling parachuting self. And that is the only reason you'll know that this is New York City. And this is the greatest display of Mode 7 I've ever seen in my life. Ignoring the fact that the ship dropped you from about 40 stories from the ground, and now you look to be dropping from space. You'll also notice that the pterodactyl, which can fly, also has a parachute. Oh, there's a Statue of Liberty! You hit the black border of the image, and somehow you're in Manhattan. During the day. I really hope you like this song, because it's the only one you're going to hear for the rest of the game! What was... Is that the sound he makes when he gets hit? So you wander around NYC after half of the buildings have been wiped out. Seriously, it looks like Fallout 3 happened here. Oh look, he throws little rocks. Or something. The best part is it's one of those games where you can't throw another one until the first one hits something. Considering the rock has a weird arc and it's tough to aim, that's really a pain. Here's the reason you will die in this game. Nope, it's not the enemies. It's these light bulb boxes. Turns out, they're brain drain, which is a reference to the cereal Screw Eyes has in the movie. I say reference because this game has nothing to do with the movie most of the time, so it seems appropriate. You gotta love the fact that some ledges you can walk on and some you can't. I'm pretty sure it's just done at random. Now in a 2D platformer, generally, the objective is to run to the right. But nope, 20 seconds in and there's a big wall in your way. So where do you go? I backtrack to the beginning and I see stuff on the rooftops, but how do I... Oh, you can climb? Yeah, because we know how effective those T-Rex arms at climbing. But now I can't climb. Yup. So you can only climb certain walls, and there's no indication as to which ones you can climb. So I find a platform rolling across that drops me right before the wall in my path. So as I figure things out, it gets me nowhere. And I'm really getting seasick from the camera. Yeah, this is one of those rare 2D games where the camera is a factor. Anytime you turn in the opposite direction, the camera slides with you, which makes it difficult when you're lining up a jump. So, 10 minutes into this level, and I've made no progress. You know, I'm starting to see why I never beat this game as a kid. Hell, I don't even think I beat this level. Finally, I figured out that you can climb this rain gutter on this building so you can progress. So here's a rundown. You can climb edges of some buildings, rain gutters of others, but it's random as to which one you can climb. And of course, the flagpoles that block you from going up, but you can't use as a platform. Oh well, on to level 2. The theme here is platforming. Oh boy, so here's the biggest problem with this game. Yeah, I know there's a lot, but this is kind of a big one. Everything about the controls and platforming in this game are broken. There's no momentum, none that you can visually see at least, but you still need to build it up to make certain jumps. On top of that, you're usually jumping onto a platform a third of your size. So when you jump, it's already a crapshoot, but then you need to be pixel perfect to land the jump. In the Mario games, for instance, platforms are minimum, the same length as your body, and you have a few pixels of leeway on either side. So no matter what, you're jumping to a platform that's roughly 1.5 times the length of your body. In We're Back, you are jumping for platforms 75% the size of your foot sometimes. Coupled with the sloppy controls and a previously mentioned camera, and you can see why this game isn't talked about with some of the great 2D platformers of this generation. As you progress through the levels, taking on the two kinds of enemies you'll encounter, you collect random heads of your dinosaur buddies. Instead of a character selection or levels for each, they just come and help. But usually, they're not useful in any way. Although apparently the Triceratops could have gotten me through this wall, but I don't know. Now that I know he's not a real dinosaur, I kinda don't want his help. I mean, if he's lying about his species, what else is he lying about? Is this why he never replies to my Facebook request? Oh god, is she really just a friend? How could you, you deceitful dinosaur? You were everything, you were part of my life, Lisa, if that's even your real name. So I walk up to this point where I see some lines on the buildings in the middle. Hey guys, would it kill you to, I don't know, draw something? I think there's something coming, but nope. I even walk under it, nothing. Then from nowhere, you son of a... Oh. Uh-huh. Wow. 5 hits. 5 hits to kill this guy. But since you can jump on him repeatedly and you bounce like you're made of rubber, you just have to wait for him to die. Seriously, you can just put the controller down while you wait for this. I mean, that's what I did. I was laughing too hard. I don't know how much more of this I can handle. Oh. Oh, now we're in the subway. Some guy wandering around. Let me just jump back down from this orb and... What? What? I died? He had a gun? Alright, whatever. He's abandoned in New York. I'll let it slide. I hop down and now I'm on the subway. Oh, there's the sound effect of a train in the background. At least it brings up this monotony. What? What? That's fair. You know how in some games you'll get some sort of warning that something's about to kill you? Maybe see it coming while you're safe. I heard the train at the beginning of the level, but I couldn't see it. Maybe a couple of platforms up top after you hit the ground so you'd be up there anyways while the train soars by at the bottom. Come on guys, the closest I ever got to game design was programming a text-based RPG in QBasic. I shouldn't be outsmarting you. You encounter a couple of new enemies in this level. The disappearing fire guy, and the hard-to-hit spiders. Whatever, I'm done with this level. Ah, crap, I hear the train coming. Need a platform. Yes! That's the end! Just gotta... So close. I'm just gonna speed run. Oh, right. Still no platforms at the beginning. Do I want to continue? Nope. Oh, well that's kinda cool. You walk to the sign. What? What's that face? Why is he so happy that I got a game over? And why does he only have 11 rounded teeth? It's a static image that you're basing on a movie. You could get a better pixel artist. I've seen people draw detailed pictures of cars in MS Paint. I'm sure someone could get a better looking picture of John Goodman in here. So, that's enough of this game for me. Now, I tried to look up a walkthrough online to see if there was anything that I would have missed and should have talked about, but surprisingly, there were none to be found. I have read that the game is completely repetitious from here on out, and while there are boss fights, they're usually laughable. So, there's nothing really here worth suffering through for me to review or for you to waste your time with. The graphics are dated, bland, and lack any sort of color. I mean, there's contrast in the blue background with an orange dinosaur, but that was probably coincidence more than intention. The music consists of 2 god-awful tracks that sounded like they came from the NES, and one that is a MIDI format of the main song from the movie, but you only hear that in the opening. Why spend all of your time on a song that we're going to hear the least amount? The controls are some of the worst I've ever experienced, regardless of the category of the game. The story is non-existent, and it's just bad. I mean, it's not horrifically or historically bad like E.T. for the Atari 2600, but I saw some guy give it a 9 out of 10 in a review and thought, what is wrong with you? If I had to give this game a score, I'd give it a 3 or 4 out of 10. It's not the worst game I've ever played, and it's not unplayable. Once you get used to the sloppy controls, you can actually beat this game, and it's not difficult. It's just boring. There's no reason to put yourself through it. So, pass on it. I know I am. I never beat this game, and I've had it since I was a kid. And you know what? Did a review on it, I'm going to put it back on the shelf, and that's probably where it's going to stay until it dissolves into dust. So there's a retro review of a terrible game. Now that I got that out of my system, I just want to play something relaxing. Something nice, something pleasant, something that I can just kill time with. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. See you next time.